No beauty shines brighter than a healthy heart. Very good evening to all viewers. Welcome to an exclusive health talk, BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. Nothing but lifestyle. Myself, Marina Francis. Our topic for today's discussion in this episode of Health World is heart attack and how to keep a healthy heart. Yes, a very important and relevant topic, something that most of us are very much concerned about. It is definitely important in our life to keep our heart health our topmost priority. Now, in today's episode, let's see how to take care of our heart, how to keep it healthy. And definitely we have the most apt person joining with us today as our doctor for today's discussion in Health World. May I happily welcome Dr. Muzaffar Ali Surhio, consultant cardiologist and the head of the Department of Cardiology at Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Center. He has an experience of over 25 years in this field. Let me happily welcome Dr. Muzaffar, currently working at Al Hilal Hospital, Moharek branch. Good evening, doctor.
Yes, good evening.
Welcome to Al Hilal Health World.
Well, thank you for your good. And that I am Dr. Muzaffar Ali Surhio. That I graduated from Liaquat University of Medical Science in 1992, and that from the Liaquat University of Medical Health Science. In 2002, I did my fellowship from the College of Physician Surgeon Pakistan, Sindh province. And then in 2001 to 2004, I completed my MD cardiology training from Civil Hospital Karachi, that affiliated with Dow University of Health Science, Karachi, Sindh, Pakistan. In 2005, I went to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. There's a big center. There is a National Health Center. In Malaysian language, they say IJN, Institute of Jantung Negara. I completed 1 year fellowship over there in clinical and interventional cardiology. Well, after 2005, that means in 2012, I got another membership from the Royal College of Physicians, that's called MRCP. And then in this year, 2021, I completed my fellowship training from the Royal College of Physicians, that's called FRCP. Well, I have been working, as you mentioned, that head of department and consultant cardiologist in Al Hilal Hospital, Moharek. This Al Hilal Hospital is a tertiary care hospital, well equipped and having many facilities. We have 4 satellite public serving centers in Kingdom of Bahrain, one in Askar, in Rufa, Salmabad, and newly built one our center in Adliya, Manama.
Yes, doctor. Thank you so much for a brief introduction about yourself and definitely, as he said, about Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Center. Thank you, doctor. We are very honored for you joining with us today.
Thank you for calling me to appear in the interview, and I'm very happy and glad to know about this discussion.
Sure, doctor. Doctor, so let us move on to our topic for today's discussion.
Yes, sure.
So, doctor, firstly, can you elaborate what is heart attack and causes of it?
Well, very good question. You know, if generally speaking, how to know the layman person what is a heart attack. Heart attack does means when there is a chest pain, and this pain is very severe, and that associated with breathing problem and sweating. When this pain radiated towards the left side of the chest and arm, that we say the typical presentation of heart attack. And that is a pain who bring the patient towards the hospital. Otherwise, if there are atypical presentations, like some patients having a pain in the upper part of the abdomen, not toward the left side of the chest, center of the chest, sometimes back of the chest, sometimes chin and neck. Generally speaking, heart area is upper part of the chest and up to the neck. This area included the chest. So if there is any pain in this area, we have to exclude the heart cause first.
Okay.
When this pain happened, it's very severe and unbearable, and that a pain to bring the patient to the hospital. So heart attack in medical terminology, when blood supply to the heart, that means that vessel, blood vessel carrying blood that contain oxygen and nutrients that supply to the heart, that becomes a block suddenly, and no blood supply beyond that, and that initiate the pain. So when suddenly blood supply block and the chest pain, we say this patient is having a heart attack.
Okay. So doctor, you elaborated what is heart attack exactly. So what could be the risk factors that can cause a heart attack?
Well, excellent. There are many risk factors worldwide. The commonest, for example, diabetes mellitus, high blood pressures, obesity, and then sedentary lifestyle, and socio-economic stress, which is very, very important. So these are, and sometimes patients are taking, this one, the less vegetable, less fruit, the fresh dry fruit. That also, that means eating habit is also important, apart from the socio-economic or other risk factors that may cause heart problem.
Okay. Doctor, another doubt that most of us have is the age category we belong to, is that a factor for heart attack?
Yes, excellent. Now, when we were in fellowship training, students, definitely we know that when patient came with a chest pain, if the patient is young, even patient doesn't move to the hospital, and we being a doctor, we say now this is young, no heart problem.
Yes.
But later we know, because as I mentioned, the socio-economic stress is very important.
Yes.
And we doesn't know the patient's family background. He or she might have familial hypercholesterolemia. So what I observed in our clinical practice, that even a young age, 30, 25, from our side, that means the Asian side, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, I observed in my clinical practice in 30 years, patient having extensive heart attack. So this is a good question. So now the age is not a big issue. Any time that may cause heart problem.
Okay, so since you mentioned that, doctor, if a person is having a chest pain, generally we try to ignore it, or we try to have a denial kind of attitude. So when should we approach a doctor?
Yes, yeah, you are right. That initial, the denial phase.
Yes, yes.
Particularly in a young age, and others, if there is a 50 and no risk factor, initial the denial phase, patient always said this is a gastric problem.
Yes, yes.
Acidity is not from the heart.
Yes.
Then we found there is a heart problem. So if any time there is a chest pain, and with exertion, with the sweating, with the breathlessness, or family history of heart problem, or cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension, or patient itself is a smoker and used to drink, then he should consult with a doctor for health issue, and sometimes is the pain who bring the patient to the hospital, and then we diagnose this patient having a heart attack. So chest pain is not simple. Whenever there is a chest pain, patient should consult with his doctor.
Yes, that is a very important point for all viewers out there. We should never have that denial kind of attitude at any time, is what doctor has mentioned. We have only covered the major very important risk factors. We need to go in detail into each risk factor. Let us now take a small break. We'll be back, so stay tuned.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain. At 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery. Fresh meat and fish. Fruits and vegetables. Sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods. Dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. You're watching BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. We are in this 45th episode of Health World dealing with the topic heart attack and how to keep a healthy heart. Now let us move on to the discussion into further details of each risk factor under heart attack. So doctor, as you mentioned, under risk factors, one factor was blood pressure.
Yes.
So how do we know what are the normal values of blood pressure and who is labeled as having high blood pressure?
Yes, very good question. Now, blood pressure is a risk factor for the heart attack and other problems. So, new guideline from the American College of Cardiology, the cut point of blood pressure or normal value, as you mentioned, less than 120/80, we label as a normal blood level of blood pressure. When we label high blood pressure, that means when blood pressure reading 130/80 or more than that, we label as a high blood pressure. So in between, that means more than 120 to 129, we say elevated blood pressure, but we should not say high blood pressures. When blood pressure high, that means 130/80 is a cut point, up to 140/90, there are further stage 1, then more than 140/90, stage 2, this is different. But for layman persons, 130/80 and more than that, they should understand is a high blood pressure, and this is the risk factor for the heart problem.
So doctor, moving on to another risk factor, the blood sugar levels. So what are the normal blood sugar levels? And even if a person with low or normal blood sugar level comes up, is there a way to know their previous history of blood sugar level?
Yeah, this is a very good and tricky question. You know, the diabetes mellitus is equal to the heart attack or heart problem. One patient having a heart attack and other patient having a diabetes mellitus, from our clinical point of view, both are equal. So diabetes is a very danger. It's systemic disorder, affect every system of the body. Regarding your question, blood sugar level, so we have a two way of measurement because depend upon instrument. So if I say 7 millimole, the fasting blood sugar, 7 millimole or less than that, we say this is a normal. And if I say the 11.1 millimole, that means after food, we say random blood sugar, 11.1 or less than that, we say this is okay, it's not very high. If more than that,
Yes.
7 and 11.1, we say this patient having a diabetes mellitus.
Okay. Doctor, probably milligram is what we
Yes,
generally
very
measure it.
very good
So
question.
milligram.
Now people doesn't know about the millimole and how to convert
Yes.
milligram, but because some machines having a millimole factor and some machines having a milligram.
Yes.
So how to convert milligram millimole to milligram? The conversion factor is 18.
Okay.
1/8. For example, a patient having 1 millimole that equal to the 18 milligram.
Okay.
So when I say 7 millimole, that means maximum up to the 120, 126 milligram. So in this way we have to convert
Yes.
the millimole to milligram.
Okay.
Now another you are a part of the same question. Now when patient came to my clinic, the sugar within normal limit, but he is diabetic, and we don't know that from that date to previous
Yes.
up to 3 months was sugar controlled or uncontrolled.
Yes.
Sometimes what we observe in our clinical practice, now patient they are usually non-compliant. They are not taking their medicines regularly. 1 week before, because their appointment to the doctor, 1 week before or a few days before they want to take medicine, when come to the doctor, the sugar is normal. So doctor think that sugar is okay, normal, but we have to confirm that sugar from that date previously up to the 3 months, was it controlled or uncontrolled. So for that we have to request HbA1c,
Okay.
we say glycated hemoglobin.
Okay.
It will remain, if remain glucose high, this up to 3 months we know the even today sugar control,
Okay.
and this HbA1c high, the cut point we say less than 6.5%
Okay.
is okay, acceptable. 7, more than 7 we say it was not good control, even though sugar today is a
not.
control. So in this way we have to reach the diagnosis, and we should take care about the health of the patient and give proper advice and lifestyle modification, communication about that your sugar previously not controlled, you have to take care about that.
Yes. Doctor, normally when we speak about heart health, we try to relate to obesity being one of the reasons
Yes.
for poor heart health. So my next question is, what is the role of obesity in heart health, and is obesity alone a risk factor for heart attack?
Yes, this is excellent. Well, this in general population, I observed many patients are obese, even not obese, but there is a overweight.
Okay.
Overweight. Obesity itself doesn't cause any problem, but effect of obesity on the body, that means obesity does cause high blood pressure. It does cause, that means diabetes mellitus.
Okay.
It does cause glucose dysregulation and lipid dysregulation. There is high cholesterol also. And this also cause sleeping and breathing problem. When patients sleep at the night, there is some snoring and sleep disturbances. We say obstructive sleep apnea,
Okay.
OSA. That further effect on the heart and lung.
Okay.
So obesity having a different point of view effect on the heart. We are measuring BMI, body mass index, that means weight upon a height in centimeter. So we say 18 to 25 BMI.
Okay.
In this range, it's a normal.
Okay.
But if more than 25, that is up to the 30 or below 30, we say this is overweight.
Okay.
Patient should be conscious to do lifestyle modification, reduce weight. But more than 30,
Okay.
we make 3 classes of obesity, class 1, class 2, class 3, depend upon the BMI.
Okay.
Generally, up to 25 BMI
Okay.
is within a normal limit. More than that is obesity. And obesity have many different will affect on the heart, and it may cause heart problem. Well, obesity, as I mentioned, we have to look for the metabolic syndrome.
Okay.
There are 5 factors of metabolic syndrome. Okay. As I mentioned, when we say more than 25 BMI, overweight, more than 30 is obesity. So most people having a category of overweight. So we have to measure in metabolic syndrome. There are 5 factors. One is the waist circumferences.
Okay.
Other is the blood sugar level.
Okay.
And third is blood pressure.
Okay.
Fourth is cholesterol, triglyceride, and fifth is the triglyceride. So for the waist circumferences in a man is more than 102 centimeter,
Okay.
and in a female more than 88
Okay.
waist circumferences we
Okay.
measure, then we label this as a overweight. Depend upon the other factors, the obesity class 1, class 2, or class 3 or not. And blood sugar fasting more than 6.1, and blood pressure more than 130/80. Regarding cholesterol, this one, the good cholesterol is HDL. It's less than 1 millimole, and triglyceride more than 1.7. These are 5 factors. If 3 factors among them
Okay.
are more than 3, we say this patient having a metabolic syndrome.
Okay.
So this metabolic syndrome again affect on the heart and does cause heart problem.
Okay. So definitely we took up few risk factors of heart attack in detail. We need to definitely know how we can prevent a heart attack, how can we go ahead with the treatment for heart diseases. We'll be back after a very short break in BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World.
Every piece of jewelry tells a story. Its raw beauty speaks of its natural origins. The brilliant design speaks of unparalleled craftsmanship. Its elegance evokes the passion and energy of those who wear it. At Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട, എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും.
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
Welcome back. You're watching BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. Let us continue with the rest of the questions regarding heart health. Doctor, when a patient approaches your clinic with some of the symptoms relating to a heart disease, how do you clinically examine and find whether they have risk factors of heart attack?
Yes, this is a very good clinical questions. You know, when patient come to the hospital with a chest pain or other problem, we have to examine the patients.
Okay.
Not only the laboratory test,
Okay.
our clinical expertise.
Okay.
Clinical. We have to examine the patient and we look for the the things that we make a diagnosis. For example, we have to check patient blood pressures. If blood pressure high, definitely it's a risk factor
Yes.
for the heart.
Yes.
And then some clue when we examine, when there is in the medial canthus, medial side of the eye,
Okay.
when there is some swelling in for the layman person I am talking, or there is some lipid deposition,
Okay.
we say this is the xanthelasma. And sometimes this was the black portion of the eye, we say this is a cornea. Sometimes there is a ring outside this black cornea, we say gray ring, and this called arcus senilus or arcus cornea. If present, then we have to know that this patient's cholesterol is high.
Okay.
Apart from that, if we examine further, we have to see the elbow, the back of the elbow, knee, and the ankle, back of the ankle. If we found there is some swelling, we say this is a tendon xanthoma. This indicates there is high cholesterol in the body. So we may reach the diagnosis and we require some blood test according to our clinical examination. Sometimes there is only a cholesterol deposited in this palmar creases, this yellow to orange color, and this sometimes there is a knuckle of the hand, there is some swelling. We say tuberous xanthoma, we say palmar xanthoma. So in this way, we have to reach the diagnosis that patient having a risk factors.
Okay.
We have to do some blood test to confirm and treat accordingly.
Okay. Doctor, suppose a patient is diagnosed with heart attack, then how do we proceed with the treatment of heart attack?
Yes, very good. Sometimes patient present with a typical history of chest pain, and we do some test like ECG and some blood test, and we confirm that patient having a acute problem or acute heart attack.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have time durations.
Okay.
The time duration is very important. 1 hour is a golden period. Then if patient came to the tertiary care hospital if there is no any facility for the angiography,
Okay.
then we should immediately transfer that patient to the tertiary care center where that facility is available.
Okay.
And keep in mind the time duration very important. If transfer time from one hospital to another hospital less than 120 minutes, we have to transfer that patient directly to tertiary care center where there is a angiography facility available, and directly patient sent to the cath lab and do the angiography, and depending upon the finding, and patient may need angioplasty, that means put a stent and open the vessels. This is a gold standard way of treatment. For example, if time is not meeting that criteria, that means transfer time from one hospital to other hospital is more than 20 minutes, then we cannot transfer the patients. We have to treat the patient over that hospital. We use some injections that break the clot which obstruct the blood vessel which supply the heart. So this modality of treatment, when we use this injection to break the clot, this is equal to the angioplasty. Apart from other medical treatment which thinning out the blood, so this importance to break down the clot is very, very important.
Yes. Doctor, definitely another important part which viewers want to know is how can we prevent heart attack?
Well, heart attack prevention is very important. We have to discuss our patient to follow the lifestyle modification.
Okay.
Lifestyle modification is very important. So from data we know there is the 9 modifiable risk factors
Okay.
which cause 90% or more than 90% cause heart attack or heart problem, and these are the modifiable. It's in our hand or in patient hand to follow the lifestyle, to modify his health activity, to prevent from the heart problem or heart attack. If we categorize, the top is the cholesterol. The high cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, and then socioeconomic stress, alcohol, smoking, and then less exercise, and decrease intake of vegetable, fruits,
Yes.
and these all factors that we say these are the modifiable. So we have to advise our patient to follow the lifestyle modification
Okay.
to prevent the heart attack, heart problem, to make it his or her health healthy.
Doctor, my next doubt is, are there any genetic factors that can cause heart attack?
Yes, genetically, direct to cause heart attack, unlikely, but there are some condition, some are autosomal dominant.
Okay.
For example, if I would say that the cholesterol, familial hypercholesterolemia,
Yes.
and others, cholesterol or others condition, familial, particularly I am discussing with cholesterol. If cholesterol increase genetically because
Okay.
gene mutation,
Yes.
and that from family to family, for example, one patient came with a chest pain young age, and in his or her family there is a heart attack
Yes.
in young age, that means 50 or 55 years of age. This is a premature coronary artery disease. If we have history, there is a premature coronary artery disease,
Okay.
then heart attack in young age, and this young patient came to my hospital with a chest pain. So I have to focus genetical problem rather than this, the modifiable risk factor or acquired risk factors. So genetically, hypercholesterolemia is very important, and I mentioned that some finding are cascarnia, tendon xanthoma, palmar striae. These particularly in a patient with genetically problem or familial hypercholesterolemia.
Okay.
Yes.
So, doctor, are there any guideline recommendations for maintaining the cholesterol level? As you said, cholesterol is one of the top risk factors.
Yes, you are right. There is a different guideline from American and European. I would say from the European Society of Cardiology guideline. We categorize the guideline and control cholesterol level according to the risk factors. A patient with a high risk factor, we say very high risk factor, that means patient had a history of heart attack
Okay.
or a stroke or any other peripheral arterial disease,
Okay.
then we say this patient is in high risk, a very high risk category.
Okay.
So in that very high risk category, I have to keep the cholesterol. We have two types of cholesterol. Generally, we say one is a good cholesterol, we say HDL, we say one is a bad cholesterol, we say this LDL.
Yes.
But now again further they divided the HDL, the good, and other fraction of the cholesterol, we say non-HDL.
Okay.
So I'm talking here about the LDL cholesterol,
Okay.
which is the bad. So in this very high risk patient, I would keep the cholesterol 55 milligram per deciliters,
Okay.
because what we observed in that patient, 40% of that patients within 2 years they develop another heart attack.
Okay.
So with another heart attack in that patient, I would keep cholesterol as low as possible. That means 40 or less than 40 milligram.
Okay.
You know, in layman person when come to the hospital with cholesterol result, the LDL cholesterol normal up to 130 or less than that. Then people are asking question, my cholesterol is okay. Why you are further decreasing my cholesterol?
True.
The only doctor know that in very high risk patient, how much cholesterol I have to keep. So this communication with the patients is more important, and a patient should know that as low as possible, which is beneficial for the heart. A patient having in high risk patient, that means no heart attack before, then I would keep 70 milligram or less than 70.
Okay.
If the moderate risk, I would keep 100 milligram, and if low risk, I would keep 116 milligram. So depend upon the risk categories.
Yes.
In general, in general, I would keep 70 less than 70 milligram
Okay.
in patient with a risk factor of the heart disease.
Okay. Doctor, another aspect I would like to bring to you is silent heart attacks. We have heard of news of silent heart attacks. How would you
Yes.
elaborate on that?
Yes, you are right. Silent heart attack, you know, diabetes is a main problem in our society. And patient doesn't know about diabetes, and patient presented with any other problem like, as you mentioned, heart attack,
Yes.
renal failure,
Okay.
or high blood pressures, or skin infections, or others. So when we say silent heart attack, that means patient had a diabetes mellitus and remain uncontrolled.
Okay.
Patient non-diabetes mellitus, that means non-diabetes, and taking blood, this is the drugs to control the sugar, that means compliance is poor. He is taking lightly about the sugar. So blood sugar remain high in the blood, and this destroy the pain system of the heart.
Okay.
When there is the pain is bring patient to the hospital.
Yes.
So if remain sugar high, this sugar destroy this the pain system of the heart. Even patient have a heart attack, but no chest pain. They went silently.
Yes.
And later by any other problem patient came to the hospital, we do ECG and we find that the patient had MI before, but patient doesn't have history. So because diabetes is a systemic disorder, this affect every system of the body. I would say that diabetes is a systemic disorder, affect every part of the heart, apart from the heart and other system. So my advice to my patients and layman persons, sugar should be controlled tightly
Yes.
and should not take lightly. That's I don't have anything and sugar remain high, is no problem. So this, as you mentioned, this cause silent heart attack. Sometimes patient having a renal problem, but patient doesn't know. He came with the acute shutdown of the kidney.
Okay.
So patient should know about the health, about the sugar level, and this way we should prevent the patients from heart attack,
Yes.
and we proceed his life as healthy as possible.
Yes, true. Doctor, anyways, in present times, no health talk can be complete without talking about the COVID pandemic.
Yes,
So,
yes.
there is always the fear of heart diseases that we relate to COVID, coronavirus. How would you address to that?
Yes, you are right. You know, corona since 2 years, but what we know about the coronavirus that affect the inner layer of the blood vessels. We would say in our terminology that endothelial system
Okay.
that affect over there, and if this becomes endothelial layer becomes damaged,
Okay.
that may cause blood clot. That may affect anywhere. So if we talk about the heart, if this destroy that inner layer of the blood vessel of the heart, which we say coronaries, coronary, that may cause clot over there, that may cause heart attack.
Okay.
In some other patient, that may cause, because of this virus, that may cause infection and inflammation, that may cause inflammation
Okay.
of these vessels and heart muscle itself, that may cause myocarditis.
Okay.
That may lead to the heart failure.
Okay.
And more other things, sometimes patient with a coronavirus and he presented with a breathlessness.
Okay.
Apart from the lung involvement cause pneumonia, we have to look for the blood clot of this lung vessels.
Okay.
That may cause blood clot over there. We say this is a pulmonary embolism.
Okay.
So this virus does cause heart attack, This virus may cause pulmonary embolism. This may cause heart inflammation, we say myocarditis, apart from others problem. Yes, this is a good question.
Anyways, doctor, many aspects, many different aspects appealing to many viewers were discussed here. What would be in overall a message that you would give the viewers to keep heart healthy?
Well, simply message is that follow the lifestyle modifications.
Yes.
Keep your heart healthy, like to do exercise daily.
Okay.
Most of the days in a week, at least 30 minutes in a day.
Okay.
If you have a time to do at least 60 minutes and then 75 minutes.
Okay.
This leads to the maximum benefit. This will reduce your sugar, they will control sugar, your control blood pressure,
Yes.
and your cholesterol will be controlled. If you are obese, your body weight becomes decreased and you looks very beautiful in a society if you reduce your weight, slim. And apart from that, a patient is smoker, he should stop smoking.
Yes.
And if he is used to drink, then he stop drinking. And diet is very important in that scenario. We say cholesterol, saturated and polyunsaturated fat. Patient should avoid junk food.
Yes.
That means pizza, McDonald's. This contain the hydrogenated fat, and that make harmful to the body. And polyunsaturated fatty acids is very important. If you are cooking at the home, you use this olive oil, which is more important,
Okay.
and pumpkin seed, flax seed, sunflower oil.
Okay.
And among these, most is olive oil that contain less cholesterol,
Okay.
and this is beneficial for the health.
Okay.
Apart from that, the people have to take at least 4 to 5 servings of the fresh fruit
Okay.
in a day.
Okay.
You may take orange, banana, and some others different time. Because these are the antioxidant.
Yes.
Yes, and whole grain is more important.
Okay.
Whole grain,
Okay.
not this purified or other. Whole grain is more important. Vegetables have their own benefits.
Yes.
Apart from that, generally we say the red meat and white meat. So red meat is not good for the health, and white meat like a fish
Okay.
and to some extent chicken is a beneficial.
Okay.
Fish at least 2 times in a week is a good. Not all fish that contain that omega-3 fatty acids, but some fish having a salmon fish and others, they are contain omega-3 fatty acid that's antioxidant and is also good for the heart,
Okay.
to keep healthy heart. Apart from that, patient should control his or her blood pressure. As I mentioned, that 130/80 or below that, this is the ideal blood pressure. And sugar level, as I mentioned, that keep as low as possible if it's diabetic or pre-diabetic or family history. And 110, 120 fasting, and this random, as I mentioned, this one the 11.1 millimolar less than that. And about HbA1c, keep as low as possible. 6.5 HbA1c, 6.5% is acceptable. And these all factors, the patient follow the lifestyle modification. As I already mentioned, the 90% factors, the modifiable risk factors. If patient follow the lifestyle modification, more than 90%, he will be saved from the heart problem, and his heart will be healthy, and he will enjoy his or her life in the society.
Yes. Thank you very much, doctor. In detail you elaborated all the aspects regarding heart health. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Definitely this episode was a very useful and relevant episode for us in these present times. Just as doctor said, most risk factors of heart diseases are modifiable. So we must take care of our lifestyle We must make it a priority to take care of our health. Reminding you all this, reiterating this, may I wind up this episode. Until we meet again next week, same day, same time. This is Marina Francis signing off. Stay healthy, stay happy. Good night.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain. At 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery. Fresh meat and fish. Fruits and vegetables. Sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods. Dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Every piece of jewelry tells a story. Its raw beauty speaks of its natural origins. The brilliant design speaks of unparalleled craftsmanship. Its elegance evokes the passion and energy of those who wear it. With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry. Our story, our pride.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും.
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 39096845 3909 4806 3885 23 97 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. iMac, Cochin Kala Bhavan. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. Right from flyers, billboards, business cards, corporate gifts, and all your branding needs. At Magnum Imprint, we undertake laser cutting and CNC jobs. We ensure total product satisfaction at affordable rates. Magnum Imprint, your one-stop destination for all your designing and printing needs. Magnum Imprints, helping your business grow. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530 or visit us at www.magnumimprint.com.